Oh, there you go.
Another turnover.
All right, we obviously yesterday was a big deal and a big step relative to University of Florida and Gator football. Obviously, moving into the Hebner Center is a big deal, and I think we'd be remiss here if we didn't thank all the people that have contributed to the fundraising, the investment, the contributions, and all the people that came before us as well, right, to position the program for future success. No question it's going to affect recruiting. I think more importantly to me, it's going to affect the quality of experience for the current player and scholar athlete. And the great thing about the Hebner Center is it is going to be used by all student athletes, right? All 21 sports here at the University of Florida are going to be able to use the inside and outside lounge area. They're going to be able to use the Nutrition Performance Center. I also think it's going to help our organization from an efficiency standpoint. We've even seen that today, right? The amount of time that we're going to be able to save relative to transition between different meetings, different events with the team. So can't express our gratitude loudly enough. I'm just so thankful for all those that invested and contributed there. The scrimmage, I think for the most part out of there relatively healthy. Really good work. I thought both sides of the ball, we've taken steps forward. The film is much cleaner maybe than spring practice. I think fundamentally we're a lot further along. I do think the communication is improving. We still have quite a few plays where maybe we were, 9 or 10 out of 11 from an execution standpoint. And, I think it affects the play, obviously. But overall, good energy. I thought the intangibles were there. But overall, a lot to learn. And I think the big thing is we had a very physical scrimmage, but we were able to stay healthy and make progress. And obviously had a chance to watch that film yesterday and again some this morning. Overall, I think we're heading in the right direction. Any questions here?
Yes, we'll open it up for questions.
Billy, how would you assess the scrimmage overall as far as things like discipline? You talked last week about the offside penalties, the holding penalties, things. Did you see progress in that respect?
Yeah, I think the offensive unit, the first offensive unit, was the only team that didn't meet the quota, didn't meet the goal for the day. And I think those are all very correctable, if that makes sense, procedurally. So outside of that, I thought it was pretty clean. We had a full crew in here, all college officials that, had a good set of eyes on everything, told them, we agreed to call it just like it was game day. We wanted to know if we have issues. We wanted to expose those. Next Saturday, we've got a full SEC crew coming into town for practice Friday and also the scrimmage Saturday. So putting a premium on that, and I think we're heading in the right direction there.
What about the quarterback play? How would you assess?
I thought the defense did a good job of limiting explosive plays. And I think that we didn't score touchdowns in the red area. That was an objective that we didn't meet on offense, and I think the defense obviously contributes to that. But overall, we did turn it over a few times. So the quarterback efficiency wasn't what we want it to be. Now, does that mean, I think there are a lot of things contribute to that when you're playing with a mixture of lineups and different positions, different players. So, but it can be better. That's what I would say.
Well, you said that the offense didn't meet its quota when it comes to the discipline. Can you tell what are the metrics that you use to determine the quota?
Yeah, one penalty in every 30 plays, right? We like those to be technical and not discipline-oriented.
Recruiting momentum. I know you can't get into specifics, but big weekend. What do you just think about the recruiting momentum you guys have built this summer?
Well, I think can't compliment our staff enough, right? I think we've got We've hired really good people. We're thankful for the administration giving us the resources to create the infrastructure that we do have. From a personnel department standpoint, on-campus recruiting, Gator Made, the on-field assistance to go. We have, I think the old adage, work your plan your work and work your plan, right? I think that's, we talk about that early on. We're going to plan our work. We're going to work our plan. We're going to be diligent. We're going to be consistent. I think we've got an incredible product to sell in the University of Florida and all that comes with that. There's history here. There's tradition here. There's an elite education experience here. We have an alumni network that can help position our players for success when football's over. We have one of the best game days, if not the best game day venue in all sports. And I think we've got a prime location, right? So I think that we're learning more about our product. I think we're getting more comfortable, with our processes in-house. And I think recruiting, the intangibles that you challenge your players to have, I think the same things can be said of your staff. So I think what you're seeing here is that the Gators aren't going away on the recruiting trail, right? I mean, we're gonna follow through. We're gonna be diligent. And look, verbal commitments mean lots of different things these days, right? So the finish line is out there, a few months from now. So, but I am excited and humbled that, the caliber of player, but more importantly, the caliber of person and family that some of these young people come from, that they have confidence, in our plan for their son, and I think we've tried to make a huge emphasis on the commitment to all areas of development, right? I think the vision here in the beginning was to create an organization that has life-changing impact, right? And we're going to work hard at who they are as people. We're going to prioritize their education, and we're going to teach football at a high level, right? So, I think we'll improve as we go, right? This is certainly a sign, that, we're gaining some traction here.
Coach, when you evaluate the turnovers in the scrimmage, how much of it was a quarterback mistake or something forced by the defense? And then I'm just curious about turnovers in general, how much they're drilled in your philosophy on.
Yeah, no, I mean, we threw it to the defense in a couple situations where it happens, right? 3rd and long, 2 minute, nothing alarming here, okay? Nobody's, our quarterback, we get it, it's going to happen. But, the good thing is our defense is creating some of that, right? I mean, we're playing well, we're affecting the quarterback, we're playing well in the back end. Part of our formula here is we got to protect and affect, right? We want to protect our quarterback and affect the other quarterback, and you do that in lots of different ways, right? You push the pocket, you tip balls, you hit the quarterback, you sack the quarterback. The element of disguise, right? I mean, there's so much that goes into that, but it's a big part of playing winning football, in creating those passing downs, creating those advantage opportunities for the defense. And I think the interceptions from the other day happened in those situations.
Billy, what do you think are kind of the biggest practical impacts, maybe one or two, of the new facility?
Time. I mean, number one to me is time. I mean, I just think, the opposition has the same amount of time as you do, right? So I think just the overall efficiency, transition from the meeting room to walkthrough. I think that the post-practice transition to recovery, film review, immediately you're back to work. We're talking, I think the difference is about 18 minutes difference, based off of our research in terms of location, 18 there and 18 back. So that's 36 minutes a day that we're losing. We're right to it, So I also think there's they did this thing the right way now. I mean, you're talking about every bell and whistle. I think there's some huge advantages here relative to the technology that's in the building from a teaching standpoint, from a physical development standpoint, the investment in nutrition for all sports. I think overall these are all things that are going to contribute to development of the, player. Gator Made is in-house. I mean, there's just so many things here. We're making the most of our time, and I think we've given ourselves a few more resources relative to development of the player.
In the spring, you talked about needing 8 to 10 guys to have an offensive line that you could depend on. Are you seeing that you've got the numbers now in that position?
Yeah, no, I'm very comfortable with that group. I think that there is competition there. I think we know who 7, 8, who's 6, 7, and 8 are. We're looking for the next, who's 9, who's 10, who's going to get reps in a game week, who's not, right? Who are rotational players. I think we've got probably 8 players that would deserve to play if we had a game today, And then, okay, who's the 9th player, who's the 10th player. This week in particular here, practice 10 to 15 is going to be very competitive on our football team. I think when we evaluate our team right now, we moved out of the hotel yesterday, right? So can we maintain that discipline, now that we're in our normal living circumstance, right? Can we be on time? Can we go to bed at night? Can we make our way through the day efficiently in terms of transitioning back and forth from where we live? Can we manage the distractions as the students come back into town? One of our things is, can we get the facility and the organization and the players in season ready, right? Yesterday, I think we're 10 days out before we turn the page to the first game. And I think between now and then, we've got to iron out the wrinkles and we got to uncover any issue that will affect our preparation for a game. I think on special teams, we got to get the game changers game ready, right? We've got a competition at kicker. We've got to improve our operation. We got to get really good at covering kicks, and certainly we've got to get ready to make some game-changing plays. Those depth charts, there's so much competition on the team relative to who's the 1, who's the 2. I think week 4 we travel on the road. We're going to have to cut it down to 70, for the travel roster. Overall depth, which your question, the offensive line's an area, but I think overall on the whole team, who's earning time? Who's going to earn time, right? We talk about being one of 11 that we put between the lines to represent the University of Florida. And that's a special privilege. Who are those people? And this week, 10 to 15, this is going to be there's going to be some urgency, there's going to be intense, and there's going to be a ton of competition. I also think that, we're really focused on eliminating, anything that has nothing to do with the opponent, right? Undisciplined penalties, turnovers, mental errors, fundamental and technique issues, the hidden yardage and special teams, all these things that contribute to winning that have nothing to do with who we play or where we play or what time we play.
Time for one last question.
Just how imperative it is to be of impact in the area, the state,
Right.
Central Florida, Jacksonville, I-4 corridor, and also with legacy athletes who have had fathers and things play here.
Sure. No, I think that, just look at the research, right? I mean, the numbers, tell the story, right? We're big into history, right? History is the best indicator of the future, right? So it's one of the reasons why this is one of the elite, iconic jobs in all of college football is, player proximity, right? And I think if, the inside-out approach in recruiting, not to say that we're not going to nationally recruit, but we're going to do a very thorough job of evaluating the personnel inside out. And I do think I was joking around with somebody the other day. I said, we might just be hitting this thing at the right time because, you backtrack to Spurrier's days, all them guys, they're growing up and they got kids running around right now. So hopefully there'll be more of those to come.
One last quick one, Zach Goodall here.
In addition to the facility, yesterday you had, I think, 20 or so players starting to move into Stadium House. Josh Thompson said that you actually pointed that out before it was built. How important was that initiative for you guys?
Yeah, just trying to improve the product that we have to sell, right, and the player experience. I think that we identified maybe some of the chinks in the armor relative to being competitive in recruiting. We felt like we needed to improve the living circumstance for the players, and we're very fortunate that we've done that, right? And I think that our guys, it's right across the street here. It's within proximity of campus, the Hebner Center, Hawkins. Everything that they need, I think, is right here at their fingertips. So, and again, it goes back to the player experience. It goes back to development. It goes back to making the most of your time, creating structure and routine for the player so he can improve, so he can develop habits that will carry over. And I think we've done that with the Stadium House.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you all. Hey, let me say one more thing here. I just wanted to say that we appreciate Greenhouse Church for hosting our team for Squad Sunday yesterday. Mike Pat's phenomenal experience for the team, and we're very appreciative of them going out of their way and making time for us. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Just an opportunity for anybody that wanted to go to church yesterday. All right? Thanks, guys.